Hello and welcome back to another OMNIHEROES video. Got to make sure to get that sound down. Now, in this video, hopefully we're going to go from 91 all the way through to 99, and then I'm going to do a separate video on level 100. Now, as you can see, many people have already completed Hell 100, top 100. I remember a time when this used to not be the case. Used to be only 5 or 6 people would be able to get to the end of Hell 100. Those were the good times when we actually had some challenge in the end game PvE content. Now, this is going to be a Mystifiers run, so if you're not interested in Mystifiers, click off. It's just going to be all about the Mystifiers team. Now, if you haven't subscribed already, please do. It's really important. I'm looking to get to 1,000 subscribers, nearly there. I'm at like 880. I need 120 more people to click that subscribe button. If you haven't, please do. So, first things first, who is the best non-DD Mystifier? Answer is Lancelot. Lancelot is the best of the best non-DD Mystifiers, non-celestial, non-deviant Mystifiers. He just provides so much to the team. It's absolutely fantastic. Now, what I'm going to do is going to try and beat this enemy team using only non-DD for the first couple of rounds. And I think, for me personally, the best non-DD units would be right here. Something along these lines. Potentially taking out Sandra or adding in like Talos or Dullahan. Even Catherine potentially is a viable option, and for me it's all about getting that damage in as quickly as possible. Now you've got Franz, Minotaur, who do provide Phantom synergy. You've got Bastet, Lancelot, who do provide the protective synergy. So we'll pop Bastet up here, Minotaur up the front, Franz up at the front. Potentially can also run like this so that your front units do die, but they will come back. And with regards to artifacts, this artifact, the Surge Coffer, increases damage by 300%, and this is your key. The Sinful Band increases duration of debuffs applied by 100% rounds, and stack limit for the Corrode effect by 20. So this, for me, absolutely fantastic. Restores 25% of allies' HP, and then what do? Restores HP, triggering stun. We do not want that. Let's go ahead and pop in. Where have you gone? If we pop in Splash Axe, I think, and then we're going to take out speed, and then we're going to go all the way down. There is an increase effect accuracy rate by 50%. I believe this has a lot to do with the corrode effect being applied as well, but you can also go for heal rate. Heal rate is absolutely fantastic, and let's go ahead and increase our attack as well. Wherever it's gone, there you are. Increase attack. We'll see whether or not this team is good enough. I don't know whether it will be, but we'll have to see. Relics, again, potentially you can use something like this, but I don't think it will work out altogether too well. But we'll see. We'll jump in. We'll see how much damage we're actually doing. We do want Lancelot to do as much damage as possible. Now, if we have a look at my Mystifiers, that's Shadow Arcs, not Mystifiers. I've maxed out my Mystifiers. Just because, for me, this season, they do seem to be the best. And as you can see, doing a fair amount of damage already after turn 1. And that's just from Corrode. We do minus control. Okay, so it's Reflect that's got to kill us. Shame. So yeah, no way to get through that with this team. I'm sorry, there's just no way to get through with this team. Can't even apply stun. So what we're going to do is going to go and use some DD Mystifiers. Again, we'll try and use as many non-DD Mystifiers as possible. And I would suspect that probably Bastet and Sandra here might be the way forward. It is these relics as well. So the relics really, they're okay. They're okay, but I don't think at this level you would be able to pass using these units against these specific reflect enemies. So having Merlin Ayushta and Sylvan, all on the same team, all providing the reflect bonus to enemies. Just don't think you're going to be able to pass through. Now we do lose a lot, our enemies do lose a lot of max HP. And then we lose a lot of corrode, or we do a lot of corrode damage here. But again, it is mainly, we do need that Holy Shield. And we need 2 Deviants on the team in order to pass through. As you can see, Bastet here, able to survive, and Lancelot able to survive now, attacking because of the Monarch synergy. Monarch is just so powerful. It's just so important in these runs. The reason that we've stolen Minotaur, by the way, is because of Lancelot's passive. So his rune passive, in case you don't know, does apply Phantom Illusion effect. It's got 20% on action to apply that Phantom Illusion effect. And as you can see, we've now awakened our Fortitude effect. No banish effect on the enemies has been applied. I don't think we can, or if we can, it's not worked out very well. I think it's once every 2 rounds that can happen. Now Bastet here, again, she's able to survive based on the Monarch synergy. Having Dooms with Monarchs is so important. It really is. I can't understate how important having Monarchs on the Dooms team, on any team really, but on Mystifiers specifically, is important. Having Talos and Dullahan, getting those as a priority for your Mystifiers team if you want to run your Mystifiers team, really important. As you can see, a much more successful run having those Monarchs on the team there. Now they are going to resurge, or they're going to come back, hopefully not too often. We do apply the corrode there, or corrode stacks with the cauldron, or whatever it is, the rare relic. And then we are applying more and more stacks of corrode. So hopefully at the end of this round, we should see them all go down. Minotaur may go back to the enemy side. Look at that. Look at how many look at how many HP or max HP effects have gone down. Yeah, just crazy. And even Minotaur got a bit of corrode damage in there as well. Now we gain as much of this life back as possible, and hopefully Lancelot will steal somebody else on action. We'll just have to see though. But yeah, having the corrode effect and Lancelot providing the additional damage based on corrode damage is so important to this effectively non-DD Mystifiers team. And there are, I will admit, there are much better Mystifiers teams out there, but this is probably the team that you want to focus on. Having Lancelot, having Sandra, having Dullahan and Talos, those are the key units in order to pass through. Now if you have focused on Astrid, you can take out Bastet and put Astrid in there, and keep Sandra around, having 4 Monarchs here. We'll get 1 more trigger from Phantom Synergy, I believe. Just Lily and Leah to come back. That's absolutely fine. Start applying this corrode now. Yeah, there we go. So think that'll be it. That'll be good to go. Yeah, absolutely fine. Spot on. So that is the team that you can run. That's as free to play as Mystifiers come. I'm not going to lie to you. You can't really use Franz. I mean, I've got Franz at here for PvE anyway. I've got Franz at 2 reds and 2 reds, 2 epics, and I've got Emily at 2 reds, 2 epics as well. Yeah, I've got Emily at 2 reds, 2 epics as well. Just not viable. The HP loss that they get, or they just die too quickly, is the point. Now let's go ahead and change this up a little bit. So I'm going to take out Bastet, I'm going to take out Sandra, and I'm going to pop in Talinas, and I'm going to pop in Lily and Leah. And the reason for that is so that we get the healing, and when we do get healing, we also we also get an increased attack and defense, as well as not being able to be stunned as well. Very powerful effect indeed. Plus, we've got 4 Monarchs on the team as well, so that'll sort of effectively guarantee we can't be one-shot by the reflect damage on the enemies. As you can see, there's still 3 3 Dooms on the enemy team. We pop these Holy Shield bubbles with our corrode damage. Not doing as much as we've previously done, but any healing that we receive will now increase attack and defense. It's a very viable strategy this season. Very important to note this season. I don't know what it's going to look like next season, but potentially it's going to be the same. So we'll just have to see. Now here they are doing a lot of damage to us. Fortunately, we do have that Monarch synergy, and we've got the Fortitude effect provided for 3 rounds, I believe, with the Mystifier synergy. So they have popped 2 Fortitude effects here on Talos, but still not able to go down because we still have that Awaken ability as well. So as you can see, Fortitude has now left the front 2 units. So we are sort of relying on this shield from Lily and Leah. Fortunately able to attack, and primarily because we do have the Monarch synergy. Again, it's so important, the Monarch synergy, in order to pass through these stages. And the relics here, I think we'll change up the relics next, and we'll go ahead and see how they do. Again, it is what it is. You're looking for as much attack and defense as possible for Mystifiers, so they survive for as long as possible, to apply as much corrode as possible. And as you can see, Lancelot again doing the majority of the work in the corrode damage. These guys are all going to come back. So Franz and Ayushta with Sylvan, we need to take out these 3 units here as much as we possibly can. And I think that after the end of this round, potentially, we'll apply corrode to these 3. Lancelot should apply corrode when he attacks as well. Yeah, there we go. So corrode has been applied. So as you can see, we're not doing altogether too much damage with our actual attacks. It is more the corrode damage that's doing all of the work. And again, it's primarily because I've boosted up corrode as much as possible this season, because it is just so powerful. The increase to corrode damage specifically, that is the way forward, especially increasing the corrode stack. So yeah, again, what did I say? Lancelot is one of the better units, or one of the best non-DD units. I would say probably Halissa is the best non-DD unit currently in the game, but then closely followed by Lancelot. So let's go ahead and take out our 2 Glorians, and let's pop in we'll go with Dooms. So we'll go with Halissa and we'll go with Merlin on this, and I think this should be absolutely fine. The reason I'm going for those 2 again is because of the Monarch synergy, and because of the Dooms reflect. We'll be able to start reflecting a lot of damage back. Again, we don't need to worry about the Phantom synergy on the enemy team. It's just more the Monarch synergy now on the enemy team. So we do have 3 Monarchs in the form of Merlin, Lily and Leah, and Talinas. But we do get our Reflect rate and our Reflect increases as well. So as you can see, doing a lot of damage here with our corrode. And then that's the Doom's passive kicking in, was that second hit that we just saw there. So again, very, very powerful stuff. So we are building up, we are applying all of this corrode, not building up a lot of energy, but again, it's based on that Doom's synergy. So the Dooms, I believe, you will, I believe the Dooms apply the Fortitude, and they also apply every time you're dealt damage, you deal damage equal to the damage you've received back to enemies. Now we don't get Grace of Hunters here. So again, it's not like we're powering ourselves up every time we heal. This is just the raw stats that we get from our team. And Halissa not doing too much damage. We don't expect to do altogether too much damage on this team. What we do need her for is all of the buffs that she does provide when she attacks. Now we've stolen a Loon with thanks to Lancelot's ability, or his passive ability. Really, really strong. Really, really strong set of runes there. Oof, Halissa down, that is a shame. We may still be able to pull this through, but we'll just have to see. Yeah, Corrode should kick us in because they've only got Lily and Leah as healers, so we'll just have to see. But we are applying a lot of Corrode in this case, and I think after this one, we're going to change up our relics and we're going to build a proper Mist team. just to deal as much damage as possible, just show the max potential of Mist. So we've gone through a couple of teams here. Again, the three that you really want and you want to build around: Lancelot, you want to build around Talos and Dullahan. Now, again, there are better units like Astrid, for example, you should already have copies of. If you've been following the guides on the Discord, like I always suggest, following those guides, really important. But again, having these two to back up, Lancelot, really, really powerful option. So I think we can go ahead and skip this one. We don't need to see Elune get beaten up. So Merlin to do the most there. Absolutely fantastic. That's through Reflect and through the damage that he does. So let's take out these two. And let's go ahead and pop in Astrid, and we'll pop in Gaia. Now, Gaia, recent addition this season. If you don't have a copy of her, you know, there are other units to use. Like, for example, Catherine, Mulan. You can even pop in Sandra in this particular spot like this. And that is an absolutely fine, very, very viable PvP and PvE Dooms team as well. But in this case, we're going to go with Gaia. In fact, no, let's go with Sandra, and I'm just going to change these relics up. Just so we get to see more of the different relics. So we'll go with the Underworld Key, a very recent relic last season, and is coming very, very handy for the Dooms team. Not for the Dooms, for the Mystifiers team. I've not really used it with Valianters. I know it's supposed to go with Hades, but again, this season, Valianters, real pain. What a real pain they are. Now, as you can see, we have frozen completely. No, it's because we completed a challenge, complete 5 Rift Odyssey stages in the weekly quest. So we have done so. Again, if you're patient and you save up, I mean, look at that max HP. Yeah, lose it all, lose it all. Then they do lose a lot of HP at the start, with thanks to the seasonal increases as well for Mystifiers. But this should be a piece of cake, especially if you change out Sandra for Gaia. But in this case, we've got our 4 Monarchs. This is the team that I ran before I got Gaia. Having this team, having the 4 Monarchs on this team are really, really impactful, really powerful, especially with Lancelot able to provide the additional damage for Corrode. Something to note, Talos also does increase damage for Corrode. And Astrid is going to buff up our attack based on her speed. So if you have her skin, we're going to get much more damage, much more attack, because Astrid has her skin. Now, if you missed out, unfortunately, she's still very good, and she's still one of the better units that you can pick up from the Oracle shop. If you are brand new, then you should be picking that up right away, and if not, you should already have copies of her. She should be prioritized, her and Elmer, most definitely. Now, I think we've got this one in the bag. It's round 2, and the enemies are already technically down to half health. The reason that they're actually down to half health is because of the max HP buffs or debuffs that we've been applying with thanks to Sandra. So as you can see, it's still going. Lancelot here, every time we apply Corrode, Sandra's buff will kick in, and we will we'll apply all that max HP debuff effectively. So as you can see, Lily and Leah basically down to 0 health here. And it should just be a simple case of attacking through. They do get debuffed, or not debuffed, but they remove all of the debuffs we've placed on them when one of the enemy units die. And the reason for that is the Celestials. So you've got Vittoria, a recent name change, Vittoria, and Talinas as well. Every time one of every time one of their units dies, they lose all of the debuffs that we've placed on them. So it can be quite a pain with this team, but again, it's not something that we need to worry about altogether too much, especially with how much corrode we are actually applying to the enemies, which is why Gaia becomes so powerful. So on the next one, I'm going to start to use Gaia, and we're just going to blitz through. It's going to be crazy how much damage they're actually they're actually losing. So we can go ahead and skip. Yep, it's just one more round. Astrid to do the most. Again, she's just so powerful. So we're going to take out Sandra, and we're going to pop in. So this is Lachesis. So Lachesis, Revitalization. Gwyn is typically the unit that you want to use against this enemy Lachesis, because he is the slowest unit. But I suspect that we won't have too much difficulty. Just using a raw Mystifiers team, no Grace of Hunters, no Ethereal's Dodge or the shadow perk that they can get. Again, it's just Mystifiers so powerful this season. As you can see, we're doing much more damage already to these enemies, just because the amount of corrode stacks that we're applying. Gaia, in case you don't know, sneaky little part of her passive is that she will increase the number of corrode stacks applied. So she increases the number of corrode stacks applied, which is 2, and then which is why we're getting all of these corrode stacks being applied here. And even Talenas's passive is popping off, so it's a good job Lancelot stole Talanas here. So as you can see, Revitalization being applied. So our enemies do gain full health back, but it wasn't quick enough to save enemy Lily and Leah here. Let's just have a quick check on the Genesis Glow. We're up to 42 stacks that have been applied of corrode, which will increase our attack. And it'll increase our damage, and it'll also increase our damage reduction as well. Very powerful effect. And then Gaia, if you have 100 stacks applied, 100 stacks of corrode applied to enemies, she becomes invincible. Not very relevant. Doesn't come up very often. Primarily a buzzword, really. She still, it's basically impossible. It's basically impossible to get that part of the passive. I mean, I don't know why they set it so high. If it was 50 stacks of corrode, it might work a little better, but as it stands, not super impactful, not super powerful. Now, Talanas does put a bit of work in here, but not for the enemy team, unfortunately. So Vittoria doing a fair amount of damage, but we do get the death here of Talanas, and we should be able to start applying all of these corrode stacks as well. There we go. So minus attack, minus corrode, damage done. Easy enough. And Gaia again to do the most, out damaging Astrid, as we saw in the last with Sandra and Astrid on the same team. Astrid was out damaging the rest of the team by quite a high margin, and now Gaia again able to out damage the enemies. So I think what we'll do is we're going to go ahead and skip these stages. So 96 we'll skip. Again, we know what this team looks like. We know how powerful it is, and you really want to focus on as much corrode being applied as possible. For round 2. Silly. Yeah. she's just absolutely fantastic. The problem is that she was released at the same time as Elisha, so a lot of people are going to sleep on Gaia. You're just going to go straight for Elisha, and it's difficult because if you've got a good Mystifiers team like this, for example, if you've got a very high star Mystifiers team, then Gaia is going to be absolutely phenomenal. The higher her star level goes, the more impactful she will be on the team. Elisha is slightly different in the fact that you only need her at 6 stars really in order for her to be super impactful. Like I've been able to get from floor 7,000 in Palace of Penrose to floor 9,600, and I could probably go further, but I need to save some of those attempts, for your daily missions. I don't know when they're going to come back, or when they're going to increase that limit for the Palace of Penrose. Who knows? But the point is, I've been able to get there with Elisha, and in fairness, in combination with Eudora. But I mean, look what Gaia does. The amount of damage that she's doing right now, is absolutely silly, and it's because every one stack of corrode we apply, we get an additional one. So Gaia will apply that additional stack of corrode, and it will just make it so that you always hit your limit as fast as possible, and she can build up as fast as possible as well. So Dullahan here, not doing altogether too much damage on actual attack, but the fact that we're applying all this corrode, really strong. Now Gaia, her runes would allow for an additional, so Gaia's runes allow for an additional action per turn. So it's just something to keep in mind, that when you are looking for who you should be buying your runes for, Gaia is a potential candidate because she does get that additional action, and every action she takes applies corrode, and every corrode stack that is applied boosts up the team to astronomical heights. Like, she's doing 16,000 million there, just crazy. Like, Dullahan not doing altogether as much, Lancelot doing 20k, you know, compared to Gaia's 16,000 million. Now, it is partially due to the seasonal buff that she's getting. She gets an additional 100% attack for me, because I've got her at 4 stars. But again, it is yeah, it is spot on. Yeah, 4,200 million on a basic, and we even stole Minotaur over there as well. So when Minotaur does his attack, he's going to help us by doubling the number of corrode stacks on enemies as well. So I think this should be the last round, potentially. And what I mean by that is we should be able to take out Persephone and Sylvan here with our corrode damage. Astrid may even go the distance. Yeah, not bad. Oh, they just keep coming back, don't they? Just keep coming back. Well, Dullahan will do the damage required. And Gaia may even finish it off now. Yeah, 52,000 million. Yeah, it's not bad. She's not bad at all. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. That's Nightmare 99. We'll jump into Nightmare 100, and I'll see whether or not I can beat it without using Gaia. But we'll just have to see. So thanks very much for watching. Hope you have a fantastic day.